Hi, welcome to the Tuesday Afternoon Podcast with Ben and Wrenn. In a time when we're learning to lean more on each other, we are doing this because we want to explore ways to live out our faith every day, even on a beautifully ordinary Tuesday afternoon. Hello, and welcome to the Tuesday Afternoon Podcast with Ben and Wrenn. I am Wrenn.
And I'm Ben.
We are happy to have you here with us on this Thanksgiving week, and this episode is going to be a little shorter than our usual. It's a busy week for everyone, and we just want to take a few moments to maybe share with you some things that we're feeling grateful for, and hoping that you will get hoping that this will be a blessing to you as well.
Yeah, it's a good week to talk about thankfulness and gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year. I think we said that last week, but I like having a week just to focus on thankfulness. I think it's really important.
Oh, it's so important. And, you know, like we keep saying over and over, especially now, because there are so many things that are sort of spinning around in space as far as all the things we have going on that are way different than they've ever been. And so, you know, taking a moment to think about the things that we are grateful for is important. But, you know, we all have the things that we're grateful for, obviously, our health, our families, our roofs over our head, jobs to go to, all of those things, friendships, family. But I'm wondering, what is something that is saving your life right now that is not that big thing?
That's a good question. That's a fun question. Okay, so first thing that comes to my mind is coffee.
Yes.
Specifically, the Food Lion brand Sumatra coffee.
Really?
Yeah, so good. I am
Wow,
thankful
write that
for
down.
it every single day, and it is just dark and rich and flavorful, and I drink an embarrassingly large amount of it.
Yeah.
But I love it, every single cup.
Well, I will have to give that a try. We love dark, rich coffee. And, you know, to that end, I am really thankful for my coffee in the morning because it's delicious, but also because my husband makes it every day. I can't remember the last time I brewed a pot of coffee. And I'm really thankful. That's such a nice gift in the mornings that I get up and it's turned on and it smells so great when I come in the kitchen. And he usually washes my coffee cup out for me too before we leave. Yeah, and I make him a smoothie, so it's a nice give and take.
Good system.
It works out really well in the morning. So yeah, coffee. But gosh, what else? Something that I love having a stack of books.
Oh.
And I can work on 2 or 3 books at a time, depending on whether or not I feel like I need a little nonfiction over here, or this novel is really calling to me, or this is the one I really like to have by the bedside before I go to sleep. And so I have 2 or 3 books going all the time. And I'm always stopping in at our local used bookstore, or running by the library, or going down that rabbit hole that's so easy to go down on Amazon looking at books. And, you know, when it's a $2.99 and you just click that, and in a few days it comes, and I'm always so excited when I get a new book. And I have no idea when I'm going to get to read it because there's so many others. But just having that stack of books and knowing that there's one coming after this one when you finish it, it just makes me really cheerful and happy.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Books are something I'm always very thankful for as well. I'm not asking you what your favorite or best book that you've read this year. There's too much pressure in that question. But what's a book you're thankful for that you read this year?
Ooh. Well, I just finished The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd, which was a spectacular book. Really, really good. But I'm thinking of something a little more simple. Oh, I will tell you the book that's blowing my mind a little bit that I actually just bought at the bookstore. It is a compilation of poetry from 1931.
Oh.
It cost $1. It's falling apart. It was literally being held together with a rubber band. And it has poems by Shakespeare and William Blake and all all the poets that you know so well. And there are lines in there that you recognize, like somewhere in my brain I've heard that line before. But to open a book that has many different ones together and then you can just read them one by one and you're like, this is such a treasure. And I don't think that nearly as many people really read those things as used to and should. It's just such a little treasure for me. It's a teeny tiny little book, but it's brought me a lot of joy and food for thought the last several days.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised at how much I forget I enjoy poetry.
Me
which,
too.
That's kind of weird to say, but every time I rediscover it, it brings a lot of joy.
Yeah.
I would say the book that I'm thankful for this year, also kind of a surprising one, Tuck Everlasting.
I've never read that.
I never had until this year either. It was kind of a gap in my books every person should read list. Never read it in school like a lot of people did, but my daughter was reading it in school and she had read it before, and she encouraged me to read it. And it's just a quick read and so many wonderful themes in that book about living, about the value of family, about the value of life. And so it was a beautiful book, but I also got to have some really great conversations with my daughter about it. And she's in 6th grade. And so I think that's why that book really stands out as a highlight from this year.
Yeah. And children's literature, some of it is really wonderful and can be enjoyed at any age. And I think we kind of forget it, or we think, that's a kid's book, but yeah.
I have said several times, I think young adult literature is sometimes better than adult literature.
I would agree with that.
It's shorter. It gets to the point a little faster. I feel like adult literature is sometimes pretentious and overly.
Oh yeah. It's
not being very.
It can be overly descriptive.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just feels
dark.
like, let's just move on. Let's get to the point here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Along those lines, just for your own food for thought and anybody else's, I remember when our son was about that same age, I think he was maybe 5th or 6th grade, and he read a book called Good Night, Mr. Tom.
I've not heard of that one.
Oh, my goodness. And I read it. He suggested it to me, and then I read it. So we were able to have that conversation, too. And it is such a wonderful book. I think Margot would really like it.
Cool. I'll have to look that up. But goodness, talking about something to be thankful for in life, no matter what year it is, being able to talk about a book with another person.
Yeah.
It's just one of the simple joys of life.
Yeah, you're right. It is. Wow. Well, we are just so grateful that you're listening. We hope that you'll share this podcast with someone that you think that could benefit from the things that we talk about. And we want you all to enjoy a safe and happy Thanksgiving. We know it's a little weirdo this year, but it still can be a day of gratefulness, a day of peace, a day of love, and we wish you good health and all that brings with it. Did you have?
I have a quote and a happy song this week.
Got a quote and a happy song.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So my quote, I have a gratitude quote. It is from John Milton, and it is, "Gratitude bestows reverence, allowing us to encounter everyday epiphanies, those transcendent moments of awe that change forever how we experience life in the world."
Oh, that's rich.
We were talking about how gratitude has to be cultivated.
For sure.
And it's a choice that we make. And gratitude can open new and beautiful windows into the ordinary moments of life. So take time, take a deep breath, and be honest about the things you're going through. And then start a list of things that you're grateful for. And you might find that it takes you to a beautiful place, even in the midst of an ordinary Tuesday afternoon.
There you go. And a song?
Yeah. So the child of the 90s that I am, Do you remember the band Toad and the Wet Sprocket?
I do remember that name very well. I love that. It's a great band name.
They were kind of a two-hit wonder back in the 90s. So anyways, the lead singer, his name is Glenn Phillips. He has a song called Thank You. We actually listened to it at Hope Fellowship on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a beautiful song.
Yeah.
So if you want to look up Glenn Phillips, Thank You.
Okay.
It is a song that will bring joy into your life.
Awesome. Well, I don't have a quote this time, but I do have a song. So she's a children's singer, but like the young adult literature, she can be enjoyed by any age, and I love her music. Her name is Elizabeth Mitchell.
Oh, my goodness.
You like Elizabeth Mitchell?
Oh, Elizabeth Mitchell is the best.
She is the best. So the song that I chose is called Ladybug Picnic.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so it's a little bit of it's just a fun little song, and you can think about ladybugs spreading out their Thanksgiving meal, whatever that might be, and enjoy your day.
I just have to say,
Yeah.
Elizabeth Mitchell has a Christmas album, which is for children, but is probably one of the better Christmas albums I've ever heard.
I will have to.
Yeah.
I'll have to play that. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Have a great one.